Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel on finding your path to your best emotional and physical health. My name is Erin, and don't forget, if you like what you hear today, please subscribe to my channel. Click the bell for notifications so you can see when new videos come out. And also, don't forget to download my free 5-part series on finding the best tips to your best emotional and physical health to get you started on your path. So today's topic is going to be another quick one, just to kind of help give you an outline of what you can do as you're working on your weight loss and increasing your activity. So I just wanted to talk briefly about how to develop an activity plan or an exercise plan. Today's society, we are very, very sedentary, both in our jobs and in our home life. People get hooked on TV shows and they binge watch and they don't move enough. And even with today's wearables such as Fitbits and Apple Watches that tell us to stand up and move and do all of those things, it might not be enough to help get us the activity we need to sustain weight loss and improve our metabolic rate and just our overall health. In some later on series, when we start talking about cognitive decline and brain health, we'll get into how weight and what we eat and how we move affects our overall brain health as well. So if you're not worried about your weight in general, but you're worried about aging and your cognitive health, we'll get into that more in some later series, so stay tuned. So I just wanted to chat briefly about the developing an activity plan. We just need to move more in general, and that's a start, okay? So there's so many benefits to exercise. Many of you probably know all of this, that there is improved sleep, stress relief, better immunity, better strength, better balance. You're less likely to fall as you age and those kinds of things as well. We're also looking at preventing heart disease, preventing diabetes. All of those things will be affected by our movement and our exercise, and also our pain levels. Believe it or not, if you have chronic pain, you have to move more. When I'm doing evaluations of people with chronic pain issues, they tend to be stuck in non-movement patterns because they're afraid of the pain. But then when they actually have to move, the pain is even greater because they have retarded their movement enough that they cause an increase in pain when they actually do the movement. So if you have been sedentary for a long time, you might have to start with a really, really simple activity plan, such as walking. And it may be as simple as walking around the block, and then walking around 2 blocks, and then 3 blocks. I think as with making changes to your eating, people will tend to say, oh, I need to run 5 miles. No, that just gets you overwhelmed and worried about being able to make those goals. Start slow. And if you are worried about raising your heart rate, you can start with more sedentary exercise programs like chair yoga or Tai Chi, which is typically standing and actually works on the small muscles that actually help keep us balanced and stable. And those stabilizer muscles then help us be less prone to injury when we get into more extensive exercise activities. I love doing Tai Chi, and I do that every so often to help maintain balance. And it's particularly good as we age in order to kind of not only provide balance and strengthen the stabilizer muscles, it's relaxing and provides stress relief, which we can talk about in a later video as well. So again, like we're doing with our numbers, like our cholesterol and our blood sugar and all of that, we can use numbers to kind of help measure our overall health in our exercise world, and we can look at what our resting heart rate is, and the more fit you get, the lower your resting heart rate will be. So you want to kind of know, what is it right now? Okay, so that's a good measurement. And then you're also may measure it when you start doing increased exercise, and you want to know, am I getting good cardio, or am I just doing strength work? So figure out what your resting heart rate is, and then you can figure out what your max heart rate is. And we can go over that as well. So then when you're developing a plan, you can figure out, okay, I am going to do cardio 3 times a week, and I'm going to do strength training twice a week or something like that. You have to figure out which one is going to be best for you. There's a lot of research out there that kind of goes both ways. So it's hard as far as like what kind of exercise helps weight loss. And they both do. So cardio, yeah, it's going to expend more energy, and that will help with weight loss because you will use the energy that's available to you, but they can also make you want to eat more. The benefit of strength training is that you increase your metabolic rate, because even though you have bigger muscles or stronger muscles, they are going to burn more when they are just resting. The downside of course, strength training is you may gain weight, and that's the difference between understanding your weight gain versus number gain, because muscle is heavier. So even though your waist and hips and thighs might be shrinking, you may actually gain weight when you start gaining a lot of muscle. So you kind of got to be aware of that a little bit. So cardio, if you're going to do that 3 to 4 times a week, it kind of gets you want to be able to get to the point where you are raising your heart rate enough that you can really only speak 2 or 3 words while you're doing it, and that's about 75% of your max heart rate. And sometimes I'll even do that with like HIIT training, whereas it's high intensity interval training, where I will run for like 100 meters and then walk, because I don't like to push myself that much and do like 30 minutes of intense running. It's not for me. I get bored really, really easy. But that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be for you. And I also find for cardio, at least for me, it's helpful to listen to a book or music while you're doing it. I'm always learning, so I'm always listening to books about all kinds of things, health and relationships and whatever. And so, of course, that's where I get most of my stuff that I bring and help present to you, to help you all grow and become better in your emotional and physical health. The other thing that is important is the strength training. And a lot of times you can just do body weight. You don't have to buy a bunch of stuff. You don't even have to go to the gym. My favorite thing to do is just basically body weight and hand weights. I think I have up to, I think it's my highest one, I think is a 12 pound. I've been looking for a 15 pound. For some reason, they're very hard to find in the stores these days, so I'm going to have to order some, so in order to increase my weight a little bit for upper body work. But I usually just spend some time every morning turning on YouTube. Of course, YouTube is fabulous. I have a harder time deciding which person I'm going to follow for these exercises and which one to pick, because I follow, 3 or 4 of them, and they come up, and I pick the time I want to exercise, usually about 30 minutes, and pick one that's either a strength training one or a cardio, depending on what I'm doing. Prefer to get outside doing cardio during the nice months, but in winter, which is when this is being filmed, can't do that, so we need to do stuff inside. So again, there's 3 types of exercise we need to consider just for our overall health. It's the cardio, then the strength training a couple times a week. Cardio is usually 3 to 4 times a week. Strength training a couple times a week. And then the flexibility and stability piece. It's flexibility and balance through Tai Chi. And that can be Tai Chi or yoga or something like that. All of those are really good. I'm not that flexible, so I never do good at yoga. So I'm like, okay, I can't do yoga, but I really liked Tai Chi. So if you're not flexible and you're kind of worried about that, and balance may be a bigger key thing for you, then I would go with the Tai Chi, because the Tai Chi is like I said, is standing, and you're not worried about pulling muscles and that kind of stuff as well. And it teaches you to kind of concentrate a little bit better. So depending on your overall goals of what you want to work on, that may be a better fit. So that's how you kind of start thinking about your development of an activity plan, and then set that for every day, depending on what your overall goals are. So if you need some help with that, please make sure you connect with me on the website, and we can give you some coaching to help you set those goals and keep you accountable for moving towards your best path. So again, don't forget to subscribe and follow up with a one-on-one consultation. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please let me know, and want more details about anything, we can do that as well. So have a great day, and I will talk with you later.